Hey, here I am and welcome back. My name's Nathan, and if you're into urban sketching, you're in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to do a debrief of all the art supplies that I took with me to this year's Urban Sketchers Symposium in Toulouse, because I think I overpacked. I'm going to take you through everything that I took with me, and I'm going to tell you whether I would take it again, whether I used it or not. Stick around to the end of the video to find out my most used item. So let's start with the sketchbooks that I took with me. I took with me one Hahnemuller size 6. And how many sketches did I do in this? No sketches. This is one I did before I went. I did no sketches. I didn't even take this out of my bag, even though it is my sketchbook in progress. So, was that sketchbook needed? No. I also took my Light Wish binder travel set, and in this I did a grand total of 0 sketches. So that is 2 sketchbooks that were not necessary, even though I love both of those. I took this square Potentate book with me, and in this one I did a grand total of 3 stamps and 1 awful practice sketch. Was this necessary to take with me? Not really. So, of all 4 sketchbooks I took with me, this is the only one that I really used. This was the InArt sketchbook, which I'd never heard of before. I just picked it up in an art shop here in Barcelona, and I really liked it. The paper is thick. Can you see how thick that is? 300 GSM paper. It's not perfectly white. It's a little bit off-white. I really enjoyed this sketchbook, and it was really very inexpensive. I think it was 11 euros. And I nearly finished it. I have a few pages left at the end, which I don't think I'm going to fill. I'm going to keep this as just my symposium sketchbook. The only reason that I used this sketchbook and none of these really is because I thought when I look back at my experience and I show people my symposium sketches, they're all in one place. They're all here. Whereas if I had 5 here, 2 in here, 1 in there, it would get a bit messy. So I'm going to use them for different things. You know, like when I go traveling, I have a travel zigzag, or I have my sketchbook in progress, for example. So I think I like to be able to find where all of my sketches are from one particular time. So in that case, it was this one. And then also, while I was there, in the goodie bag, if you are lucky enough to have a ticket, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more sketchbooks anyway. So maybe it's pointless even taking a sketchbook. Maybe next year I'll only take 1 sketchbook. In here we have a lot of supplies. Let's just pull them out and see if I use them. Polychromos. I took all these Polychromos pencils and I did use them. I didn't expect to use them. I thought that I wouldn't. How many did I take in there? Maybe I didn't use every single one, but I could have if I wanted to. So actually, surprisingly, I used them quite a bit. Polychromos, yes. Sweatband for cleaning your paintbrushes on. Yes, I used it. This is the silicone water thingy. Yes, I used it. However, I am going to invest in a clip-on water pot, because I think that'll just make things a lot easier. So yes, I used it, but I might not take it next time. Scissors. Not necessary. I took them. Somebody else used them, actually. Some other people used them more than I did. I took the extra ink because I thought I might need to fill up my fountain pens, but I didn't. I didn't need to fill up my fountain pens once. So I would probably take it again, though, just in case, but probably not necessary this time. Fountain pen. I used it a lot, yes. Micron fine liners. I did use both of these. I could have used this one more, I think, this blue one. And yes, I used this one. It was useful for adding little details in sketches such as the boat and this one in particular. Oh, and also this one. 2 Tombos. I didn't use either of them at all, so maybe I wouldn't take those again. Actually, I'm going to separate what I would take and what I wouldn't take. Wouldn't take is over here. Would take is here. Glue stick. Yes, I would take that again. Did I glue anything in? Well, I glued that in after the fact. I glued that when I got home. I glued this in. I glued my tickets in. Most things were stickers. Oh, but not everything. I glued this. I glued those in. Yes. Okay. I used it enough to make it worthwhile taking. So glue stick, yes, I would take again. Clips. I did. I used them all the time, so I would take them again. Ah, this came actually in the goodie bag. Use that to spray my watercolors. So yes, I would take that, even though I didn't take it with me originally. Oh no, I did. I took another one. I threw it away because it was broken. So it was good that that came in the goodie bag. Kneadable eraser, yes, I used it, so I would take it again. Water brushes I used all the time, so yes, I would take these again. However, I'm going to try and stop relying on the water brushes. I'm going to start using my Fumui brushes more. But I did use them, and I'm sure that I would use them a lot next time as well, so yes. The Fumui brushes, I've showed you these before. They're synthetic, but they work really well. I think they're synthetic anyway. I'm not sure actually, but they work really well. So I would absolutely take those again, especially when I get my little clip-on water pot. They're going to be beautiful to use. Good. Oh, I have a few things in here that came in the goodie bag. This is a Cretacolor Mega Nero Soft pencil, and I used that, but I think I only used it because it came for free. Oh no, I used it because I'd lent somebody else my black polychromo, so I used this instead. It was pretty cool though. No, maybe I wouldn't take it because I already have the polychromo. What's the point? But if I don't have the polychromo, yes, I will take that. This is a little brush pen, which I didn't use. It came for free. I don't know if I would take it because I'm not used to using these anyway, but I will use it at some point, but maybe not at a symposium. So I'm going to put that over there. This was a fine liner, which came for free. It's a mangaka, but I already had fine liners, so in a pinch, maybe I could use it, but I already have my own, so I don't need to take that. Okay, what have we got here? Oh, this was the brush pen, which is actually similar to this one here by Kurotake, but I didn't use this. So, no. I took this as the spare backup fine liner. No. And I've realised that there's so much you can buy at the symposium anyway, that if I needed one, I could buy one there. A mechanical pencil. Yes, used that several times. White highlighter. Yes, I used that several times. This is my Fude pen. I only used that, I think, for my workshop. Did I use it anywhere else? Oh no, I used it here. I used it at the very start. I didn't use it so much because the paper's quite small, but I did. Oh no, I used it on my pupil sketching. Yes, okay, yes, I would take that again. And also, next time, I think I would take a bigger sketchbook also. I don't think it's necessary to have such a small one. This was great size, to be honest, but some people had some bigger sketchbooks and they made some really nice sketches in them, so I think maybe I would get a bigger one. I didn't use this once either. This is the Stabilo 88 water-soluble pen. No. So, that's in the actual sketch kit. Oh no, hang on, wait. I'm lying, I haven't finished. This is my pencil sharpener. Yes, I used it, so I would take it again, especially for the polychromos. These are washi tapes. I took those because I thought I would use them, but I did use them once in here, on the door frame here. Yes, and you can't really tell now. It did rip up the paper when I pulled it off, so I didn't use it again in this book. Maybe if you are going to take some, you can test it out in your book before you go. But I didn't really use it, so it's a no from me. So this is all I needed. Really? Could have travelled quite a lot lighter. Now let's get to my paint palettes. I had two with me. Mostly Daniel Smith and Winsor & Newton in here, with the exception of two Van Gogh. And over here we have the Shinhan Arts that was sent to me. And I used both of these. It depended on the occasion and what the colours I needed were, but I did use both of these. And I did mention that I was going to put Velcro on here. So I did. I put Velcro on here and on the magnetic clip. So it was quite good. It didn't wobble about too badly. Well, a little bit more than I would like, really. But it did the job. However, I'm going to swap these Velcro bits out for magnets eventually. So yes, I'd used both of those. I really like these colours. These Shinhan art colours are actually really nice. However, I did buy some Rosa Gallery paints. And also, we got these Roman Schmalz ones free in the goodie bag. And I used this several times, and I used this several times as well. So, I don't know. I didn't need to buy these, but I wanted them. So, maybe it wasn't necessary to take 2 palettes with me. I think I might have been just all right with the Shinhan Art, or I might have just been fine with the Daniel Smith and Winsor & Newton as well. But I also used both of those that I got there. If I were to only take one, supposing that I didn't have a goodie bag, which would I have taken? You know, I think I might have just taken this one, the Shinhan Arts. And once I get a magnet on here as well, that'll be perfect. I can't believe I'm saying this because I made this palette myself. Well, I chose the colours myself, I mean. That's what I would take. I can't believe it, that's it. That's all I would take with me next year. Which is in Toronto, by the way, baby. Toronto. So, yeah, that's it. What was my most valuable supply? MVS, in case of MVP. Anyway, well, obviously I used this the most, because everything is in there. The Shinhan Art watercolours, and the Lamy Safari fountain pen. Yeah, no, I would say those were my most valuable. I could have done with that, and some paintbrushes, and a clip-on cup if I got one. I could have probably survived with that. But I'm an overpacker, as you know. So, this is a message to you, Nathan. Next year, when you're packing to go to Toronto, watch this video back so that you don't overpack. All right? Good. Also, I told you at the end of my packing video that I was taking some stickers with me, and I gave nearly all of them away. Also, get some more stickers next year. Everybody takes stickers because it's actually super addictive collecting the stickers. So, that was my Symposium sketch kit debrief for 2026. Let's see if I can pack better next year. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!